Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I'm Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young.
And we are here to rant and rave. See, it sounds perfect. It's not going to be, is it? I don't know why.
Was almost like we started it in a round, like we were one beat off.
I know. I don't know why I even care. Like nobody else is stopping, is pausing our show. If they listen to us and know how crazy they are, they're not pausing the show and going, why can't they get that together? And why can't they stop talking about it? I don't know. It's a character flaw. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo. What are you going to do?
Oh my God. Hilarious.
Well, Jessica, how was the last 24 hours?
Oh, just great.
I took my little one to get ice cream. Did I send you a picture of that?
Yes, he looked happy as a clam.
Oh, he was so happy. He earned it. I mean, we've been recording a lot lately. Plus, I've had auditions I've been recording. Yep. Last night after we recorded, then my friend Kate came over and helped me do a self-tape. And my son I go, hey, we're getting ready to record, okay? Just letting him know. He was being good. There was no issue. He did tell Kate, she tried to have conversation with him. She went in and he was like, hey, hi, whatever. But she was asking him a couple questions and he finally goes, can I have privacy?
Oh, bless his heart. Oh, he is so over it.
She was like, ouch. And I was like, sorry, they teach them that in school now, very young, so that they teach them that you have a personal bubble. And if you don't want someone to break it, you can kindly say,
that's good.
Please give me space. And if you need privacy to calm down, you say, may I please have some privacy. So he's been doing that since he was 4.
I love that. I wonder if it was influenced at me shrieking and flagging him down like a NASCAR flag bearer every time I see him on the screen. I'm like, Henry!
Well, I don't think so, because then he was playing peekaboo with you behind my body. He has been such a gem because Dan Tipton's been dealing with some family medical stuff. And so Henry has been so patient and so good with his crazy mama. So I was like, let's go get you some ice cream. And man, I'll tell you, I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't really get out for ice cream a lot. I make a real specific point of going somewhere that has vegan, whatever.
Magpies.
I know it's delicious, but I took him to Cold Stone and man, they got those big waffle bowls that are dipped in chocolate with sprinkles. It's crazy.
First of all, the smell of a waffle cone when they make them on Ventura at Salt and Straw. And I'm sorry, that is like an aphrodisiac. I mean, people come running around the court. No, but it's like that smell goes so all the way down for 2 blocks. And you're what is that? And then you realize it's the damn waffle cones are pressing fresh.
Oh my God, so good. Hey, speaking of lactose intolerance, since I've told everybody my whole medical journey now, when I was at the doctor's office, we were talking about it because I'm lactose intolerant. And she said, did you ever go a long period of time without dairy? And I said, I did actually. And Dan Tipton doesn't like milk. I think I've told you that. And so I just didn't have it for a long time. And then I was like, okay, I need milk back. Right. And then I started. She says that if you don't have dairy in your diet for a while, it is automatic that your gut will stop producing the bacteria necessary to digest that. She said, so if you would like to try, she said, because you're pretty young to be turning lactose intolerant, because my grandma did, but she was 75, I think.
Wow.
But anyway, she said, if you would like to start introducing small amounts of dairy, don't go out and eat a whole cup of ice cream, but just slowly start introducing, because I can eat hard cheeses and even sometimes soft cheese doesn't bother me, so I know I still have some digestive properties in there. She said if
Sure.
I wanted to, I could start entering that back into my system. But I thought about it for a long time though, and I'm like, everybody says dairy isn't that healthy for you, and I don't like the way they do dairy cows. So I
Yeah.
think I'm just going to stay not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to hurt, right?
Right.
I take a calcium supplement, so it's not like I should be short in that regard.
I was never a milk drinker, even as a kid. Like, look, do I love literally what once a year or at a special event if somebody has ice cold milk with a piece of cake or a chocolate
Oh
chip
yes.
cookie?
Oh
You
yes.
better believe. But I
Or
was
graham crackers.
or PB&J. Look, I could make the
Yes.
list go on, but still, I swear I was never a big milk drinker, not as a kid, not as an adult. So, yeah, I don't miss milk. I use like a coconut milk,
Well,
coconut cream
yeah,
now.
I use like a Lactaid where the lactose is removed.
Mhm.
Not only does it last for like 3 months because it doesn't sour, but
Mhm.
it to me it tastes delicious. It's very
Yep.
sweet, like milk.
Uh-huh.
Like that
Yeah,
sounds weird.
no, milk is
It's kind of
sweet.
sweet,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's how this is. I can't tell the difference. I don't think anybody could if I was being honest.
right?
Like if
Well,
you had a Pepsi challenge with Lactaid milk and regular milk, I don't know that anybody could tell the difference. No, young
also,
people don't know what I'm talking about. Pepsi used to do this big campaign where they'd have a challenge, Pepsi versus Coke, and they'd
oh yeah, I know what you're talking
secretly
about.
put out cups, and actors would be like, "Oh my god, I love that. What is this? Is Coke, right? No, it's Pepsi." That's the short version of a probably 20-year campaign.
I would like to shake and then slap whoever couldn't tell the difference
I mean,
because
it's
I could
so
tell it a mile away with my eyes closed and my feet
absolutely.
bound.
I tried to get a grape Fanta Zero the other night from Jack in the Box, and because they have that movie machine where you can make your all the
Mhm,
sodas, and
mhm.
so I was like, I want a grape Fanta Zero, no sugar, right?
Yes.
I get that thing home. Usually I sip on the way, but I didn't. I get home, I take a big old gulp. It is full blown non diet Dr. Pepper. And I thought my teeth were going to have seizures
Ah.
and fall out of my head individually. I
Yep.
have not had a regular Dr. Pepper for so many years. Don't get me wrong. I liked it, but I cannot drink a bucket of sugar.
No.
I'm too old and unhealthy for that. And I was like, well, somebody got my grape Fanta Zero, and I bet they're real mad.
Right? That sounds so good to me right now. I freaking love grape soda.
Go to yourself a Jack in the Box. You can get any of the Fanta
No,
flavors
we've
with no
talked
sugar.
about that.
What?
Homie,
Oh,
don't say that.
you
I
don't like
refuse Jack
Fountain.
in the Box. No, I love
Oh,
Fountain. I refuse Jack in the Box since my arrival to Los Angeles many moons ago, when that same year, a few months before I moved here, 13 people died from E. coli at Jack in the Box.
oh, geez. I think I
And
blocked that.
you might, I know you did because I know you love it, and most of my
I
friends do
don't
love it. I
actually.
refuse.
My son loves it.
I
I
know a
don't.
lot of people who are like, "Well, have you ever had that fajita pita pocket or whatever?" I'm like, "No, and I
No.
don't care." And that sounds even gnarlier.
Although I will say I do like a Jack in the Box breakfast. They're pretty good breakfast. They
The
got good.
sourdough jack?
Yeah,
No.
sure. Yeah, sure.
Their mismanagement put just like the restaurant in my college town that gave people E. coli because of a disgruntled employee.
Mm,
Not going to play that. You lost my business. Sorry.
yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, really, sorry, not sorry.
well,
Can you tell that I am on my fourth cup of coffee? And by fourth, I mean this one's a double and it's straight up cold brew. And I feel like I am on rocket fuel right
I
now.
will say I feel like you seem more energetic than me today, and that's abnormal. And I
I'm,
envy it.
I'm usually in sloth
No,
mode.
you're not.
Hey, if you like coffee, that Trader Joe's pre-made, ready to go. You don't add water to it. It's shelf stable. It's not in the refrigerated section. They
Does it
have a
have milk in
cold
it?
brew. No, it's black cold brew.
How much?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
I think maybe $3.
No, because I've bought cold brew at Target and it's a once a year. You talk about once a year. That's a once a year treat for me.
I'm going to
Because
do
it's
some
like, why am I going to
investigating.
pay $7 for a little bottle of cold
Oh,
brew
no. And
when
this
I
is
have a coffee machine at home?
this is a decent sized bottle. I totally agree with you. This
Yeah.
is a decent sized bottle. It says servings 3, and I'm even scared that that's a little too much caffeine wise. So I usually get like 4, sometimes 5 servings out of it. I fill the whole glass with ice. I do it about a little more than halfway with the cold brew, and then you can add whatever milk or non-dairy of your choice, and there you go.
Wow.
It's so good. But I'm flying right now, clearly.
You know what?
Oh my god.
I feel
What?
like I want to catch up with you. Do you care if I reach over and grab a monster?
Do it.
Okay, it's within arm's length. Is that sad?
Hilarious.
The box of 20 my husband bought me as a
Oh
surprise.
my god.
I think he probably just figures that like there's a lot worse things I could be doing. So he's like, I'll just
Okay.
get her the monster. God, I don't want her I don't want her on heroin anytime soon.
For real though.
Oh, hear that crack?
I love it.
All righty. Are we
All
ready
right.
to go? We don't have
Yeah,
too much.
let's do it. Let's
do it.
jump into our rants.
You're up first, lady.
Okay, so this is something that happened to me this very week, you guys, and I am real upset about it. And yes, I understand when something has a due date, it's on you. But I'm wondering if anyone else has run into this, and you in particular, Dana, because
I have
you're
things to
here
say.
and
Yes.
you can answer me live.
Yes.
So my rant is about tiny fees, like maintenance fees and finance fees and all that. Now, normally, in my experience, those are added to the bill. Like you get your statement and say I spent $176 at Target, and then I see a finance fee or a maintenance or whatever in that bill, and then you go to pay your bill, right?
Okay.
I just paid off, I'm very proud to say, without much income coming in the last year and a half. I've been also not really doing anything because we can't.
Right.
So I've been slowly but surely chipping away, and when I can, tried to be, I can't believe I'm saying a little more aggressive, but I'll like pay double what I normally would on a credit card. Now, again, this is over a year and a half, but I have finally now paid down 2 of my cards completely.
Jessica,
That's huge.
that
I'm
is huge.
very, very, very excited to say
You
that.
should be. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now here comes the bad news, Dana.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, I just paid it off in full. I was like, hell yeah. Like it felt so good. I'm like, hell yes, I am at 0, right?
Yes.
I then got a bill last month saying that I owed $3.45 as a finance charge. Okay. $3.45. And again, I went back, I looked at the last statement, whatever the balance left was, I said pay in full. That's how I cleared my card. It didn't say plus this or you missed it. My point is, I went on to pay it on the due. I was like going through, and most of my cards happen to be due around the same time. And I'm like, oh, I need to pay that stupid $3.45. So I go on, I click it, and I get the red message that says you have missed the cutoff. So for several of my cards, it says like payment must be received by 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the due date.
Right.
Well,
did you call?
I did not call.
Oh, I would have called immediately, but continue.
So I was paying and it was past that cutoff.
Right.
So it forces you to go to the next day, even though I'm paying Pacific Standard Time at 3 p.m. or whatever our time. It forces you to go to the next available date, which I did. My point of all this is I paid off my card in full. I got the damn $3.45 charge.
Stupid.
I will now be docked on my credit and receive a late charge of,
Of
I
like
think, a minimum of
35?
$35
Yes, yes.
for the
Okay.
$3.45, and
Okay.
I'm besides myself about it.
Okay. Have you called them at all?
No.
I want you because this has happened to me before and I did
Okay.
call because they'll tell you, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that, whatever,"
Mhm.
right? The first person. Anybody they can fix it for you. I have had someone say, "No worries. Well, this time, just this time."
Mhm.
So call them and say, "Here's what happened. I don't know if you can help me." Like just you attract more
Sweet
bees with
talk
honey.
'em. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm. And just say, I paid it. I'm so proud of myself. It's a pandemic. We've really been struggling, but I needed this off,
Yep.
really let them know
Yep.
that you're a human. You're not
Yep.
just somebody calling to yell at them. And you
Sure.
can say, I know this is not your fault. I should have called earlier. I kind of had a meltdown about it. Is there anything we can do? And if they say, no, I can't, just say, I totally understand. Can I speak to a manager?
Mhm.
And then try it again. I'm not promising it'll work, especially if time has passed,
Right.
but I have had that work before. And they say, it's okay. It's the first time, or it's okay. You
Mhm.
probably didn't notice, or yeah, that happens a lot. As long as you're not a repeat offender, a lot of
That's the
times
thing, yes. I'm
they
not,
will,
meaning
yeah.
I've never called. I've never called any of my card
And
companies
just
to get
say,
the
I have been working so hard on my credit and everything to have a $35 charge and a knock on my credit over $3.45 I didn't notice because I was so excited I paid my card off.
Yep.
I just can't handle it. Is there anything we can do?
No, this is really good, and that's why this is so important to bounce things off
Yes.
of at least one other person in your
Yes.
life, because I always just get mad and then I stew in it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
Calls
hello.
like this, I start off and I go, okay, I need to explain to you my situation. It's completely not your fault, and I understand that.
Mhm.
Here's what happened. And
Mm.
usually they go, okay, this person's not going to scream at me.
Yep.
Let me see if I can help them.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah, I would try it.
Okay, that's a good idea because I'm
And then we
serious.
need an update
Yes.
because
I
that
just
is
can't
stupid.
have that. I cannot
Even
have that
even
happen.
banks do that. Like, I remember one time when we were so dirt poor, it was the first
Mhm.
time I had a panic attack when I got a parking ticket, and the guy saw me standing for the light to change for walk, and he held his finger above the button, and when the light changed and I ran across and got up on the curb, he pushed it and printed out my ticket in
Nope.
my face.
Nope.
And I had a panic attack.
Yep.
I couldn't breathe, and I'd never had one before. It was when Josh and I were doing dry clean only.
Oh my
And we
god.
were we were in rehearsal for this two-person show I wrote with my friend, just trying to make it like be seen in this world
Yes.
somehow.
That show was so good, by the way. I loved
Oh,
that.
thank you.
I
I
saw it
I'm still
twice.
I'm still very proud of that show. I thought it
Oh
was
god, I
really
loved
lovely.
it. Ugh.
But anyway, it gave me a panic attack because we were so
Yes.
poor. And I
And
remember a couple
because
of
it hadn't been
times.
printed yet.
No, he didn't he could have canceled it out. He did it in my face, and that's
Yeah.
when I went, like, I couldn't breathe, and
Yeah.
I I didn't understand what was happening, and I was crying, and I couldn't catch my breath, and that man walked away from me and let me get in my car,
Mhm.
and he never checked to see if I definitely shouldn't have been driving, and I immediately called Dan Tipton, and he was so scared, he was like, "Do you need me to call an ambulance?" Because we had never experienced that before. Nobody
Right.
ever talked to me about panic attacks. Are you
Right.
kidding me? In the Midwest, do you think anybody ever said, "Hey, there might come a time where you get so stressed out you can't breathe and you think you're dying"?
Right.
Nobody ever said that to me. I
I
thought I was
know.
having a heart attack. I
That's
really did.
nuts.
So, but anyway, my point, that's sidetrack, I'm sorry, but my point is, we were so poor at the time, there were
Mhm.
a couple of times that bills came out before we had a chance to, like, rush
Yes.
our tiny little paychecks over there. It was before the
Okay.
days of everything online where it just self-deposited, right?
Yep.
And they when you we also didn't have enough money to have a good enough account that we had bounce protection, okay?
Okay.
So anytime anything like that happened, we'd get charged the $35 fee. And if you can't pay that fee within a day, they'll charge it you the next day. And
Yep.
there was a time when we had over $150 of 3 days in a row or whatever. That I don't do math, so don't add that up. Charges charges of overdraw
Yep.
because we were poor.
Right.
You're asking me for more money. You can't get a blood from a turnip.
Right.
It's frustrating.
It's
But
beyond.
when you make that call, you be real nice.
I
And then
know.
when you get that manager and you're real nice, if they still tell you no, then I give you permission to let loose.
Amazing. No, I will try it. And you know what? I have never ever asked for it from any card, and I know not with
And maybe
them.
even say
So
that.
it's worth a try.
Just say, I've never done this before, but I'm just so crushed. I'm working so hard.
Yes.
And I was so proud,
Yes.
because $35 doesn't sound like a lot of money unless you don't have a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Do you know how many groceries I can buy with $35
No.
because I'm frugal or cheap?
I know.
That's a lot of money to me. I'm not rich.
Me
Some
neither.
people may have $35 to just burn, but I don't.
I don't. Not these days, that's for darn sure.
No joke.
Okay. Well, thank you for this rant assist.
You're
I like it.
welcome. You're welcome. I want an update.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what? No matter how it turns out, we are going to celebrate, because this is a big step for you, calling and trying to stand up for yourself, advocating for yourself in the hopes of fixing something that was kind of like, it could have happened to anybody,
I don't know why I'm so afraid to do that in more cases than not.
The worst they can tell you is no.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying that that's exactly what I can never seem to make myself believe or remember. It's like,
well,
it's not going to harm me. They're not going to now penalize me and be like, customer tried to get charge off. Now we'll double charge her. It's like, they do it or they don't.
Exactly. And listen, I'm telling you, it takes a village, because I'm telling you this while I am the person that has some weird phobia about calling in food orders. I can't order pizza.
I know, that's so funny to me.
I have texted Dan Tipton at work and been like, hey, do you love me? Can you come and order for pizza for me and Henry? And he's like, I just don't understand this. You can do it online.
I don't understand it either.
I'm like, okay, if you're busy, I'll just do it online. But it takes a lot longer. It really does. I don't tell him that. But if he's not busy, he'll go, it's fine. I just don't understand you. I'm like, me either. I don't either. I don't know what it is. But I've been that way since college. I used to make anyone around me call for the pizza. I would not do it. I'd rather pay for the pizza than call for it. I don't know what it is.
Oh my God.
It's weird, right? But anyway, I want you to call and do that.
That's going to be on your next anniversary card from Dan Tipton. It's fine. I just don't understand you.
Yeah. I mean, if we're being honest, is there anyone that understands me? I don't think so. I'm a rare.
God, that's hilarious.
I am a rare bucket of nuts. I mean, I'm pretty well having to accept that. At this point, it's like, yeah, you're a weirdo. Okay, well, celebrate it. All right. Well, I'll move on to my rant. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more serious. As far as like, I don't know the answer, right? So this one, not that $35 isn't serious, let me clarify, but I meant generally speaking to what we've been ranting about lately, right?
It's also just the principle of it, which I think is apparent.
So I sent this I guess it's a TikTok video, but I found it on Instagram, even though I am on TikTok. Hello, listeners. I'm on TikTok if you want to share. I'm just a voyeur. I don't post. But anyway, I want to play it for you real quick because it's just a little song ditty, and then I'll get into my rant, okay? Here we go. Don't be polite to men who creep you out. Don't be polite to men who creep you out. Don't be polite to them, it's not your job to comfort men. Don't be polite to men who creep you out. Okay.
Yes.
Now, we were taught to be polite to men when we were young. It's a new generation. So like we've talked before about how my friend Kate, who's much younger than us, we went out dancing one time and a man wrapped his arms, he came up behind me, wrapped his arms around my body and kind of slid his hands down my sides. a little too close to side boob. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Grinding. And I was like, what's happening? I'm not hot. What is the deal here? Right. And I just started like we learned to do to
Mhm.
inch towards my girlfriend and try and create a barricade between me and not just go get the F off of me. Right.
Right.
She wasn't having it. She grabbed that man's hand and she smacked it and goes, get off of her. She's married. And I was like, yeah. But
Awesome.
we are taught, no, be polite. And the reason, and here's where the ickiness comes in. The
Mhm.
reason is because men get angry with you, right?
Yeah.
You always say, be careful, you will make them mad and they will come after you. And
Mhm.
I have been in situations like that before, but I wanted to talk about this. This is my rant.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about this because, oh crap, sorry. I wanted to read exactly what I said to you when I sent it to you. Um, I said, I kind of want to talk about this. A man tried to talk to me at 7-Eleven, and after quarantine and being safe always, and not ogled or
Mhm.
catcalled for a
Mhm.
year and a half, I don't want to be polite to men who creep me out anymore. I was just tired, and I pretended I didn't even hear him. I've gotten so used to not experiencing that it made me realize it was a daily thing before. And
Mhm.
I'm not even typically hot. But you know what? I look approachable because big girls are desperate. Uh-uh, not this one.
Mhm.
So I walked into the 7-Eleven, and I would say that convenience stores and places like that are often the biggest place I get
Mhm.
catcalled or spoken
Mhm.
to or whatever. And I walked in and I was wearing a V-neck dress, but nothing too low cut. I just happened to have boobs the size of in-season watermelons. They're huge, right? There's nothing I can dress in that's going to take that away. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter how many minimizer bras I wear. You are always going to think I am showing off my boobs, but I'm not. They're just there. Okay. So I started thinking back. I've always said, well, I've never really had to put up with what the hot girls or the pretty girls have to put up with. And that's not true. And I realized it because I was like, oh, yeah, this used to happen to me all the time when I was out in public and I just fluff it off. Or what he said to me when I walked in, and here's where it gets crazy too. I was overstimulated because unfortunately there was a mentally ill homeless man in the front of the
Mhm.
store, and he was walking back and forth and he was yelling and ranting and raving,
Mhm.
not like our show. Um, and it actually spawned a conversation with my son. I had to talk to him about homelessness and mental illness because
Mhm.
it's so rampant in LA right now. I went into Hollywood last week and I was shocked
Yeah,
because I just don't go over there very much anymore. There's no reason. We're not
I
doing
know.
shows or whatever. Looked like all of Hollywood was a shanty town.
Mhm.
Is that a derogatory term of any
I
kind?
don't think so, and
I
I
don't think so, but you know what I
sadly
mean?
yeah.
Like tents everywhere, blankets, and also they just collect stuff, just
Yeah.
stuff in grocery carts and stuff. And it's heartbreaking. So anyway, that was happening, and he was opening the door for people if he happened to be near the door.
Right.
And my dad actually bought me one of those door hook things where you don't have to touch the
Mhm.
door. And so I pulled that out, but I was trying to arrange that, make sure my kid was safe,
Mhm.
get in the store, grab what I needed, and get out, right? So anyway, I was just trying to like safely get in, not cause a ruckus, make sure he was okay, all
Mhm.
that. So as soon as I walk in the door, there's a man standing there staring at me. He's waiting in line to check out, and I could see him staring at me as I was walking from my car.
Mhm.
I was like, here we go. So I walk in the door, all this is going on. He looks at me.
And you're with the child.
No, I left my kid in the car because I was
Okay,
like, I'm
okay.
not walking him
Yeah,
past
yeah,
any of
yeah.
this. So I locked him in the car with
No,
Lucy.
that's smart.
I probably wouldn't have even stopped if I hadn't had Lucy with us because I knew if anyone came near the car, she'd lose her mind. She's so protective of him, and I love it.
Mhm.
So anyway, he looks at me and he goes, I get in line, I get what I need, and I get in line. And he goes, hi, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Just like
Mhm.
that, and had a little sway with his body. Okay.
Mhm.
And in that moment, it had been so long since that had happened to me. I was like, no, I am not into this, and I don't
Mhm.
want to be polite to you. And there are people here that recognize me. You know, I go in that
Mhm.
7-Eleven and get coffee
Right.
and whatever. They know me well,
Mhm.
and they won't let you be mean to me. They'll watch me because when I walked in, the guy behind the counter looked at me and kind of nodded his head like he saw it too, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Hello." He made it very clear that he was
Yep.
friendly with me and made it clear he knew me. Okay.
Yep.
So I just didn't say a word, Jessica, and that's very unlike me. How I usually deal with it is I normally would have said, "I'm well, thank you." And
Mhm.
that's it, right? But I don't have to do that if I don't
Nope.
want to. I shouldn't be put in that position.
Right.
And I don't ever want big girls feeling like, oh, nobody's going to do that to me or whatever. Yes, they will. So
Mhm.
please have your listening ears and your seeing eyes on real sharp because it
Mhm.
does happen to every woman.
Yes.
And it annoyed me because I thought,
Happens to me the most of the time when I look my worst. PS for whatever that's worth.
well, that's what I was gonna say too. I mean, I looked okay, but I wasn't like out to looking like I was hunting for something. You know
No.
what I mean? And I was like, "Oh, you just think I'm approachable because I'm a big girl.
Mhm.
You don't play in my league, sir.
Mhm.
No, you're not allowed to try and because what happened, and you might be saying, well, he was just being nice. He wasn't.
No,
We know,
he wasn't.
we feel it. We feel your boner, even if we don't see it. Okay.
Okay. And it's disgusting.
Vibrationally, we feel your boner. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I knew he was not just being friendly. And when
Yep.
I didn't say anything, I literally pretended like I couldn't hear him. And I just looked at what was beside me and whatever. And he goes, oh, damn it. Come on now. And I
Gross.
was like, come on, what? I don't have to
Mm-mm.
be interested in you. There's
Yep.
no requirement that you're so great that every woman you speak to has to go, oh, well, hi, I'm great. Thank you for talking to me. Do you think I'm pretty? I don't want you talking to me. I
No.
don't know you. And if you had friendly said, how's it going tonight? I would have been like, great. How are you? Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm not a monster,
No,
but
but we also don't need that very much, and not these days, and I'm not
no,
saying you can't be cordial to another person, but we all know the difference, and
you
it's real
know the
creepy.
difference. Trust your
During
instinct.
COVID, I'm not looking to make small talk with
Thank you.
anyone.
Thank you. I don't want you talking to me with your breath, Mr. Non-masked sir. I'm
Okay.
standing there in a mask. I don't want to talk to you. And I'm so sad I didn't have my back the fuck off mask on that you bought for
Right?
me.
Exactly.
But it just reminded me, remember, was it God, time there's no timeline anymore because we've lost a year of our lives, almost two. But remember when that girl made that video of herself walking through New York all day and all
Yes.
the men that catcalled and people were shocked? Well,
Yep.
men were shocked. Women are
Exactly.
not shocked.
Of
So
course.
I just want to remind everyone we're getting back to, I don't know how long it'll last because things are getting
Mhm.
really bad, but we're getting back to a little sense of normalcy. People are feeling a little more comfortable. Ladies, watch yourselves, be
Mhm.
safe, and know that you don't have to comfort a man who creeps you out.
No. Do you know what I wish that they had? First of all, 7-Eleven is the number one worst offender as far as having homeless hang around, and that I'm
Yeah.
not just being me, I'm not saying just homeless, but I'm talking about like vagrants. I'm talking about people who are strung out on drugs out of their mind, people
Yes.
who are mentally ill
Mentally
and
ill.
are aggressive. I don't like it. I hate it. I avoid 7-Eleven now like the plague unless it's the only option around, right? Because of that. The
Yeah.
ones right near me, every time I'm approached by someone as I'm walking in or in the store or accosted, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I wish that these places had security. Okay.
Mhm.
B, I wish also that every 7-Eleven and any major retailer had the equivalent of a Vegas pit boss.
Yeah.
Because when I was in Vegas on a work trip once, I was playing blackjack with my boss
Mhm.
and I was wearing a dress, like we were dressed up, and I was
Sure.
wearing a dress that had a zipper. Now, being the grandma that I am, I mean, I'm no prude, but my dress was zipped all the way up, okay,
Of
to the
course.
neckline.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to, you could have unzipped it all the way
As
down,
far
but
as you wanted.
nobody's gonna do that, okay?
Right.
So this old man that was sitting at the half moon that we were at. You know what I'm talking about, the
Right.
half moon table for blackjack.
Yeah.
He got really drunk and he was being really flirty with me. And at first it wasn't inappropriate at first. And I was like, okay, just kind of laughing and whatever, old man, right?
Mhm.
Well, then he started referring to me as sugar tits.
Nope, unacceptable.
And seriously, again, I usually get like a deer in headlights. Like I'm like Kate was with you at that club. If I see something happening to someone else, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I have no resistance and I can scream, yell, punch if I see something happening to another human being. But when it happens to me, I am bona fide a deer in headlights. So I started getting really uncomfortable. And I remember at one point, though, I did make a comment and I called him grandpa, like thinking I would insult him. I was
Right.
like, okay, grandpa, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, he wouldn't stop. And then he was insinuating and kept going like this. Said, why don't you
Ew, ew,
show us more of those sugar tits? And he
ew.
was like motioning for me to unzip it. Well, I'm telling you, it all happened so quick. The dealer had somehow made eye contact. I don't know if they have a signal, they have a button. What they did, the pit boss came over and they literally physically removed that man from the casino. And by the way, we were
Good.
at like the Bellagio. It was at a nice place. We weren't at
Yeah.
some weird hidden place. They were like, And then he came back over. He goes, are you all right, ma'am? And I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
nice.
yeah. He's like, if you ever have any problems, you come get one of us immediately. I was like, holy crap. Now, of course, in
That's
Vegas, they ain't playing.
no.
No pun
That's
intended.
wonderful because I remember I shared on the show one time when I kind of was a little more sassy than I normally would have been with a
Yes.
guy because there were other men around me and none of
Yes.
them did anything.
That makes
And
me livid too.
I know. So I was like, and there, I will say there are situations where if you feel this person could be violent, because actually, I want to tell you where I got that video. I want to shout it out. Maybe we can put it in
Mhm,
our notes if you don't mind.
mhm.
It's a new account that I found called the Feminist Squad. And
Okay.
I know people get scared, some people, when you say feminist. Listen, feminism is about equality. Okay.
Right?
That's all it is. It's not anti men. It's not,
Exactly.
it's not about you, men. Feminism is not about you. It's not anti men because it's
Ah,
not about you. Okay.
right.
Anyway, I'm learning like new terminology and stuff. It's
Mhm.
at the Feminist Squad. They're great.
Okay.
That's where I got that little video.
Love it.
But anyway, there was another video on there. They collect content that women have made and memes and stuff as
Right.
support of like explaining exactly what feminism is and things like that and empowerment, whatever.
Yes.
So anyway, one of the videos that a woman made was if we treated men the way they treat us when we reject them, and it was her, and she was like, come on, she was being a dude, and she was like, come on, just come over here with me, I just want to talk to you. All right,
Uh-huh.
fine, just give me your number then. And getting angrier, and then eventually saying, fuck you, bitch, you think you're so great, you whore. Oh, I'm
Yep.
a whore because I don't want you? And it's just insanity. And
Yep.
I have had that happen. I
Yes.
have had men get livid with me and call
Crazy.
me a whore and a bitch because I didn't want anything to do with them. Now,
Yep.
I'm a married woman with a child. I legally, I'm not supposed to have anything to do with you. But guess what? I don't want anything to do with you. And that
Correct.
should be enough.
Yep. It's unbelievable that people really cannot take no for an answer.
I
And
just,
the way that people, I hate to say it, but men react to women when they turn down an advance, a very
yes.
unwelcomed and unwanted advance.
Yes. And am I saying that's every man? No. But the kind of man who will catcall and expect a woman to like
Correct.
saddle up to them in a convenience store will.
Uh-huh. Yep. And be like, oh, let me go get in your car and let's hook up. I mean,
Right.
what the
What are you
hell? I
expecting? You know
know.
what I
I
mean?
know.
Like Dan Tipton would never, Alan would never.
Never.
This is a different breed of men we're talking
Yes.
about, and it's
Hmm.
unacceptable. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I was dealing with that all these years thinking it doesn't really happen to me like it does other girls who
Right.
are pretty. Yes, it does.
No, you're right. And I've thought that too. I mean, this is such a poignant, sad, but truthful thing that you're addressing and bringing up here. And everyone needs to know it. And I've always said this. There is not a woman on the planet, I don't care what she looks like, sounds like, acts like, that has not been uh, received an unwelcomed advance all
Mhm.
the way to assault in some form
Yeah.
once, if not 100 times in their life.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
find me a woman that has not had one or all of those things happen at least once in their life, and you can spank my ass and call me Charlie because they don't exist.
I know. That's why, I mean, obviously, depending on where you live, but we live in a very large
Hmm.
metropolitan, in a big city.
Yep.
That's why I can't walk my dog after dark.
No.
When I was young, my dad and I used to go for a walk every night after 10 o'clock out on the country roads and in the cemetery.
Yep.
I know that sounds creepy. It wasn't. It was really beautiful.
No. Seeing the pictures of where that is,
It's
no, that
really
sounds
gorgeous.
lovely.
Yes. So we used to do that every night after 10
Yeah.
o'clock. Now, I was with my dad, but it was just the two of us. We
Hmm.
never had a worry in the world.
Yep.
I would not walk to the end of the road with my dog after dark. And I
No.
don't live in an unsafe neighborhood.
It's the other creeps that come around. It's the same thing in my neighborhood. It's not my neighbors.
No.
It's the people who are hiding out in your neighborhood
Right.
because it's residential, it's quiet, it's families, and that's where the creeps like to come and hang out.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
so ugh.
I mean,
Well, I hate that happened.
I wish that we lived in a world where us women could go for night walks,
I
but we
know.
don't. At least you and I don't.
Shoot, I'm scared during the day in certain places when I'm out alone.
No
For
joke.
that reason, I'm like, even when I've been walking now, sometimes not at pitch black, but even at like dusk,
Dusk.
I'm like, A, I need to make sure I can hear cars coming by.
Mhm.
And if someone came up behind me, I wouldn't hear them. So I've been refraining from listening to anything. Isn't that sad?
I only ever wear one earbud when I'm out walking,
That's
day or
so
night.
smart. That's
Daytime,
really
dusk, it
smart.
doesn't matter. I only wear one and I keep it low
That's really smart. I need to do
because because that's one of the things they used to say to women, don't ever be on your phone or looking down. And
that.
if you walk past a man, give them eye contact because
Yep.
then they will know you might be a fighter and they don't want that, but also you can identify them.
Yep.
So
100%.
I don't want people to see me with two earbuds in because they'll go, she's not alert.
Yep.
I'm
Ah, you're
like, oh,
so
I'm
right.
alert. I'm looking
Uh-huh.
for you. I'm
Yep.
waiting for you, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I watch too many crime shows.
I'm waiting for you with my no touch door
With
handle
my hook.
opener.
Oh my God. My
For
dad
real.
was like,
Carry that
hey,
between your
it will
fingers
work.
and
Believe me, it
yes.
is twice, like 5 times the size of a key, and it's really thick and it's got that metal hook thing on
Uh-huh.
it. Yeah, no joke.
Yep.
Yeah. Whew. Oh, I think we need a cleansing breath after that.
I think we do too.
And I just want to reiterate again, if you are a woman who doesn't believe in your own beauty, that doesn't matter. That's not a part of this conversation. If you have a vagina, a man will want to put something in it.
Yes.
The wrong kind of man, not all men.
Yes. Right.
So don't do that to yourself and say, "Well, I'm fine. I'm ugly
Right.
or I'm fat or I'm whatever." It doesn't
No.
that does if you are vulnerable and a female and that's what they want, they will come after you. They don't care what you look
Correct.
like.
Yep.
So I hope I didn't say anything offensive. I don't want to be
No.
like,
I think everyone is vulnerable unless you have a bodyguard that's 2 to 3 times your size with you at all times.
correct, because we're not always walking. When I go to certain places like that place, I knew to be alert. But like
Yep.
you think about walking out here, we have a lot of parking garages.
Mhm.
A lot of assaults take
Oh,
place
that's
in a
the
parking garage.
creepiest. Yep.
You know, I had to walk to my car after a late movie in a parking garage one time, and I literally turned my camera on and filmed myself walking to my car
Mhm.
because I was like, well, if I die, at least I'll play this on Dateline.
Oh my god. I'll say one last thing before the cleansing breath because
Yeah.
I wasn't kidding about you holding that thing between your fingers. I now also, because I thank God nothing happened to me, but I've been in situations where I'm like, oh God, and I'm scrambling because I feel uncomfortable for the situation or the people lurking around when I'm alone. I now, no matter where I am,
Mhm.
once it's past dark, I even try to do it during the daytime just so I'm not ever in a predicament. But if it
Mhm.
is remotely dark, no matter where I am, I make sure I find my keys and they are in my
Always.
hand as I'm walking
Always.
because
Yes.
it's never good when you get to the car and you're in Hollywood or anywhere and you're like, oh
No.
God, where are my keys? And they're at the bottom of it and you can't find
Nope.
it.
Don't be standing outside your car like
Nope.
that. Yeah.
Always
And
have
also,
your
you
keys in
should have them
hand.
in your hand anyway, because my dad taught me very, very young when I started driving, always have your keys between your fingers just in case.
Yep. As a
So then
weapon.
you
Yep.
already have your keys and you have a weapon. Yeah.
Yep.
Woo!
Ooh, Lordy.
Lordy, lordy. And also, I just want to say I'm grateful for all the good men out there.
Yes.
It's crazy that we have to say that, like, grateful for the good ones. I wish they were all good, but there's always going to be bad apples. It
Yep.
doesn't matter what sex, what race, whatever. There's going to be bad apples. We need
Exactly.
to protect ourselves.
That's right.
Not all men are monsters by any means.
No, but thank
And
you also to the men who do stand up
thank
for
you.
others when
Yes.
it's not they're not the ones committing any kind of atrocity or crime,
No.
who
And
say,
also, a
you don't
man
talk to the lady like that.
that's right. And also, a man is putting himself out there when he does that too, because they could just as easily turn on them.
That's right.
So you men be careful too.
Indeed.
Okay. I need a cleansing breath.
Me too.
All right. Sorry, I don't know where my brain went. All right. So we like to rant out our issues. Sometimes
Mhm.
I think today both of our issues were like legit, not just silly little
Mhm.
rants. They were real rants. They're
They're
not
all
always.
real.
I know they're not always as heavy. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, Dana's letting us know how bored she is with the majority of our rants.
Not at all. No, I just usually that's
I'm
why we have to
kidding.
put in the caveat of like, we know this is for
No,
the
of course.
bigger problems in the world. But I
Yes.
think these two things, financial and safety, are actually
Yep.
really big problems in the
No,
world.
major.
So
Absolutely.
anyway, we get ourselves riled up. We know, we rant it out. We take a
Mhm.
cleansing breath, and then we're going to fill up with some funny, some weird, some probably more
Yes.
cackling from me, some from Jessica, whatever. So if you can scream it out, just because it feels good, it's a release. But if you
Does.
can't, at the very least, do a breath with us. Are you ready?
Right. I'm ready.
Okay, take a deep breath in. And ooh, that felt nice.
That is nice.
I like it. Don't be polite to men who creep you out. Like it. All right. Moving on. Oh, we're on to corners. You're up
Mhm.
first with the corner. What do you want to call this corner?
Oh God. I think this is you gotta be kidding me.
I think so. I think you're right.
Okay, so Dana came packed chock full of amazing corners for us to choose from, and
Somebody may have
man,
went down a hole. Somebody may have went
no,
down a hole.
these are great. This one really stuck out to me. This is from Oddity Central,
My
and I think they're
fave.
all from Dana's favorite
Yeah.
author, none other than Spooky.
Spooky.
Bathroom with a bed advertised as, quote, micro studio for $550 a month.
Okay.
A listing for a newly renovated micro studio in Vancouver that turned out to be a tiny bathroom with a bed crammed in it was
No,
recently slammed online. Yeah, I can't wait until you guys see the picture of it.
it's so yucky to me.
It makes me want to throw up,
I
okay?
know.
Described as, quote, ideal
Uh-huh.
for a single person looking to live in downtown Vancouver at an affordable rate and who does not need much space.
Okay.
The 160 square foot, y'all, that's
Mind blowing
15 square meters,
for the rest of the
okay?
world. That's crazy.
Was actually a bathroom in
Mhm.
which the bed was literally just a couple of steps from the toilet bowl.
And that you'll see in the picture, it's not a joke.
It's touching it.
Like you could roll off the toilet into your bed.
That sort of makes its advertised features like the brand new porcelain flooring,
Mhm,
granite finishing, and a
mhm.
large window seem somewhat unimpressive. Not to mention that the rent of this unusual living space was set at a whopping It says C $680. So I don't know if that's in Canadian dollars, and then 550 in American dollars.
It's too much. I know that. It,
Um,
and I
it's
love how they tried to like, I'm trying to look at this picture. They tried to put like little planties on the counter. Like, look what
yes.
a lovely space. No.
No, it's absolutely not okay. Nothing about it is. By the way, micro studio, my foot, that means you're going to be walking through someone else's apartment or home to
Have
get to your
to
quote
yours, right?
micro studio. It doesn't have its own entrance.
I wouldn't think. No.
This really stood
At
out for
least
me.
in, is it Japan that they have those pods you can rent for a night?
You mean
Eh,
like the little things that pull out at the
yeah, they
airport?
look, no, these are sleeping pods. Have you never seen those
Yeah, but the ones I know in Japan are like
at the airport?
almost looks like a morgue. You
Oh, yeah,
go
a
into like
little
this
bit.
tube and
Yes,
sleep in there for
yes.
yes.
That seems better to me. And that's people every night, like different people. But at least
Mhm.
there's not a toilet in my face.
No.
And also,
The
there's no kitchen. It's not. And even if there was, you going to cook in the same room as your toilet?
uh, don't use your hot plate and curling iron at the same time or you may short all the
You
fuses out.
blow a fuse.
Let me tell you something. First of all, I've only slept in the bathroom once, and yes, it was by choice. That is again, here we are back to good old Vegas at the Bellagio when I got violent food poisoning from having seafood. Lesson learned, never eat seafood when you're in a landlocked place,
Uh-huh.
but unless you know they're getting it fresh and
Fresh. Yeah.
regularly, which the Bellagio in Vegas. Hello, I think you're getting your deliveries daily.
I don't know, but I would never eat seafood ever. So
I did sleep in my giant marble bathroom because I got so ill from food poisoning once and it was too exhausting. And I literally just slept on the cold marble floor so I could be right by the toilet. Which
yeah,
brings me to
I slept
oh,
in a I did that too. I slept on a
you
bathroom floor
did.
with my head on the toilet once, but that was because I smoked weed and drank Jaeger bombs.
That just made
Got
my
kind of
stomach
high
do
and
a
got
flip.
kind of
Oh
drunk.
God. Yep. That just made me want to throw
Word.
up.
Never did it again. Believe me, never. I was so sick. I was like, am I going to have to go to the hospital?
That is the worst.
Awful.
Well, as far as the pricing of this outrageously priced micro studio,
Cannot.
Vancouver is, there are just cities, it's no secret in North America that are damn near cost prohibitive, obviously, unless
Yes.
you make a certain amount of money. New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles,
Those are the
parts of
big ones.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Uh, but Vancouver is at the tippy tip top for real estate and rental prices. So, as much as I think this is so messed up, it is so insane to me that this would even be advertised, but I get it because I guarantee you there might be a taker, who knows? And this reminded me of when I went to England years ago, I wanted to move there. I hadn't met Al or I had met Alan, but I was convinced we would never be together. We weren't even dating at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who cares? I don't have anything to go back there for. I just want to stay here. And so my friends that I was traveling with are like, girl, no offense, you can't afford to live in London. Well, they
Right.
weren't kidding. And as we all know, England still to this day has the strongest currency in the world. The
Yeah.
pound is usually worth like 2.5 times what the dollar is.
Yeah.
So when we got back to LA, two of my friends, separate from each other, sent me an article and they said, we found an apartment for you.
Uh-oh.
And it was a butler's pantry
Oh.
in like a giant brownstone
Old.
or home.
Yeah.
And you would have had literally the butler's pantry as your apartment.
Which
And
is
it
like,
was,
is it a closet under the stairs?
yes,
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because I watched that reality show of upstairs, downstairs. So I
yes,
saw what they had to sleep in.
for 15,000 pounds a month.
Shut up.
Yes.
W- did they hook up an IV of gold and put it in your veins
Ah,
as you slept?
I don't even think this place had a bathroom.
I think that's more than my car cost.
I know. It's just absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane.
Nobody should have to work 3 jobs to have housing. This is a major
Well,
problem.
there was an article today that popped up when I was online, and it said that the average person, obviously making minimum wage,
Yeah.
cannot afford a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the country.
Well, then we're
And
not a
they said that
political
is
we're not
not a living
I
wage.
was gonna say, we're not a political podcast, but we need to work on this living wage.
Okay.
It's a problem. No single mom needs to be working 3 jobs and never see her children because she still can't hardly afford to house
Correct.
them.
Which
And
is what happens for most, as we both know.
it happened to someone in my family, you know?
Yep.
It's just craziness.
Nuts.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd go camping before I'd live in a bathroom, and that's saying a lot because I don't wanna go camping.
Thank you.
All right, well, it's time for my corner, I think,
Yes.
unless you have something else to wrap it
No,
up.
no, no, no.
Okay, so mine is also from Oddity Central. Um, it's by Spooky because I think Spooky is the only person they employ. I don't know, but anyway, this is very recent, and I thought it was apropos because didn't we just talk in last week's episode? Didn't you bring up? Oh, I know what it was. You said you used a magic eraser to clean up that dirty
Mhm,
carpet. Yuck.
mhm.
Okay, well then I have a tip for you.
Oh.
People are using Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to whiten their teeth.
I'm sorry, what?
The latest and strangest trend in DIY teeth whitening involves rubbing your not so pearly whites with pieces of Mr. Clean Magic erasers for some surprisingly impressive results. When it comes to removing grime and leaving surfaces looking shiny, Mr. Clean is an established solution. But until recently, most of the world had no idea that it could also be used on teeth.
Oh my
Last month,
God.
news reports of viral TikTok videos promoting Mr. Clean Magic Eraser as an effective and cheap way of whitening your teeth in the comfort of your own home. Yeah, went viral, attracting mixed responses from both the general public and the dentist. Now, that's all they said. They didn't say what the dentist response was. I don't really want to be going into my dentist, which I need to do soon, and being like, hey, quick question. Can I use some Mr. Clean Eraser on my teeth? I want them a little whiter, and I don't like leaving them one of those Band-Aids on for an hour. You know what I'm talking about? I don't wanna be that person.
Oh my God.
What are
You
your
know,
thoughts? Would you do
well,
it?
I'll tell you what's horrifying, okay?
Okay.
The first thought is, how in the hell would you wanna use something now, I don't know what's in those magic
There's no
erasers
cleaner
because
on it,
God
though.
knows they're magic.
There's no
But
cleaner.
there's not, but there's something in them that lets them take anything from lime, mildew, rust, scuff, and dirt off of just about any surface,
Okay,
and
well,
it
what
just
about
absorbs it.
tea and black beans?
Oh
Off my teeth.
my God. I was gonna say, if you pour a can of Coca-Cola into a toilet, that eats
Eats
most
it
of the
off.
shit that you can't get off out of there, and people still drink it,
Yeah, I
right?
don't. Yeah.
I think about how good old Guthrie's from the South, it's an amazing, like, chicken finger, company. They have their special pink sauce, and if you drop a penny in there and then wipe it off with a napkin,
Mhm.
it comes out fresher than it does at the mint, the shiniest copper you ever did.
What's the pink sauce made of?
I don't know.
What does it taste like?
It's delicious. I don't know. Guthrie's. Oh, good. I don't know, like, an equivalent in Missouri, but, like,
I don't
that was
either.
a
I thought that was like a country music theater or something.
no.
Isn't there
There's
Guthrie's
also a
Country
place
Music
called
Theater?
Zaxby's. Have you ever heard of that?
No, ma'am.
Well, it's a Southern thing. I know you Missourians like to
I'm
say
not
you're
Southern.
Southern.
That's proof. I'm Midwestern. Everybody wants to say I'm Southern. I ain't.
I know. I don't know what it is, but it's all horrifying, okay? I don't need things that'll start my car going into my body, and yet we're all guilty of it. Oh God, what's happening?
Listen, I can't judge anybody because I have legitimately read up and studied and thought, could I put flatworms in my body to lose weight? And it's so
Are you reading
gross.
Gone with the Wind?
No, did they have flatworms and Gone with the Wind?
Well, apparently Scarlett ate a tapeworm, I think, to keep her fit. Am I making that up?
I
I
don't
know
know. I
women did
don't
in that
remember that.
generation.
Well, there still are women that do it.
Oh God, no,
Uh-huh.
no, 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 no.
Never say never, Jessica.
No, I am putting my foot
Never
down with
say
this.
never. Never
Nope.
say never. I'm gonna
I
bite.
already have the heebie-jeebies just thinking about the lampreys that adhere to sharks and whales.
I know,
I
but they
can't
have
even.
teethies. They have spikies.
I can't.
Flatworms are just like 50 feet long. Tapeworms.
Oh yeah, just longer than your colon. Okay.
Yeah, that way it fills up and you don't have room for anything to
My
eat.
God, that's so
We
awful.
joke. It's not funny. And also eating disorders and weight issues are not funny, but I've thought about it. Anyway, that was my
Oh
corner.
my God.
That was my what the what corner.
Thank you for those.
Mhm. I kinda wanna try it. Hey, hit us up if you've tried it. I wanna know. I won't tell anyone your name.
Okay.
Alright, what's your rave?
Okay. So this is a company that is actually based in Santa Barbara, right here in California. It is
Mhm.
called Final Straw. And Final Straw is on a mission to eliminate single use plastic, especially plastic straws, which are typically only used for a couple of minutes before ending up in our waterways or landfills for hundreds of years.
Wow.
Along with setting this incredible goal and doing something about our society's destructive habits, Final Straw's reusable straws and utensils are products that give back thanks to the company's partnership with 1% for the planet. We've talked about that before. We've had
Yes.
many raves that are part of this.
Yes. I love it.
A minimum of 1% of their annual sales is donated to nonprofit organizations fighting to advocate for animals, empower women, educate youth, and protect the environment.
Love it.
I'm going to read you a few quick facts. Their website, by the way, is final, final.co. Single-use plastics are a disaster, polluting our lands, endangering marine ecosystems, and contaminating the food chain. Our mission is to create reusable foreverables,
Oh,
responsibly made, badass products that reduce the need for plastics, empower individuals to change their buying habits, and raise awareness of the impacts of our everyday decisions. The problem with plastics, besides killing mermaids, is that 1.6 straws per person per day. Americans use
whoa.
straw. That's staggering.
That's why I've really been trying to crack down on myself. I've done good for about a year
Mm-hmm.
of or maybe 2 years because I don't know time anymore, but, like, carrying my own straw.
Totally.
Yeah.
Americans use enough straws to wrap around the earth 2.5 times every day. That
No.
makes my head spin.
That's
Okay.
mind-blowing. Every
Ecosystem
day.
every day, 2.5 times.
What?
Ecosystem pollution because they're so lightweight. Straws often blow into waterways, landing in the ocean and harming wildlife. They are not recyclable. Plastic straws can't be recycled and don't decompose, leading to the long term pollution of our land and oceans.
Wow.
And really quick, Emma Rose Cohen, the CEO and founder of Final, she came into this passion while she was in college. She was walking around the campus at Santa Barbara and felt as though she was drowning in a sea of single use plastics like solo cups, straws, and water bottles. That day would stick with her. She went on to earn her master's degree in environmental management and sustainability at Harvard and spent 4 years working at Los Alamos National Laboratory. As she
Wow.
watched different materials being wasted day in and out, Emma couldn't help but wonder if there was a better way. She quit her job to work on her dream to create fun alternatives to single use plastics. Now,
That was
y'all,
her dream. What an angel. That was her
it's
dream.
amazing.
Yes.
First of all, you can take a really fun quiz at the top of their website called Are You a Forker or a Sporker? Take this quiz to find out which final cutlery is your sustainable soulmate. I took the quiz. It's pretty hilarious. And I wasn't done. We started recording, but I'm going to
Oh,
find out if I'm a
no.
forker or a sporker. Because
I
I
feel
thought it
like
was like,
I feel like I'd be a sporker.
yeah.
Wait,
Um,
why did you just laugh at me?
no, I'm not saying that like,
You're
yeah,
like,
you bet,
yeah,
Julie.
definitely.
We've talked about so many of our raves involve sustainability, being
Mhm,
eco-conscious and all that. But you guys, I am that person. I know it's been driving my husband crazy, but I'm kind of a maniac about it. And I
mhm,
was like this at my place of work too.
mhm.
Most things that people think are recyclable are
Are
not.
not.
So
No.
I am going to get on a little soapbox for just a second here.
Mhm,
Please, please, please be mindful of that when you're purchasing things. Our last a rave from last week that Dana talked about was a company that is doing non-plastic packaging for all
mhm.
of their hair care products and whatnot. It's
Yep.
not a joke. This
No.
stuff cannot be plastic in general, for the most part, cannot be recycled. Let me tell you, I had a friend in Atlanta who owned a company that bought up plastics and quote recyclables from places. You know
Mhm.
what happened with it? It was ground up into little tiny pellets, shipped back to China for it to then be melted down into more plastic products. The stuff
Oh,
does not decompose.
no.
It's not being recycled at a plant and then turned into a new water bottle or any of that stuff.
No. No.
So obviously there's some cases where we don't have a choice or in emergency situations, but nowadays there's a lot of stuff
A
people can be
lot.
doing. before
Totally.
before COVID, my company had actually purchased everybody their own set of stainless steel, and when I tell you it had fork, spoon, knife, chopsticks,
Mhm,
uh
mhm,
like a little thing for tea, a stir stick,
mhm,
anything you could ever need for any type of food or drink, and it
mhm,
was in a pouch, and it was
mhm,
for everyone to keep that in their desk. We were
mhm.
doing away with disposable flatware and to not cross-contaminate, even though we were washing things, we didn't have a dishwasher there. It's like, it's on you. You're getting your own personal set.
That's right.
It's on you to keep it clean because you're the one who's gonna be using it.
I carry a set like that in
You
my purse
do.
made
Hmm,
of bamboo, minor
it's great.
bamboo,
Yep.
because it's lighter and,
Yes.
whatever,
And
but
bamboo is totally sustainable.
yes. So, I have a pouch like that, and it rolls up, you tie it, you unroll it, same thing,
Mhm.
chopsticks, spoon, fork, all
Yep.
of it, knife, all of it.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. And I've even now, like, again, sometimes if I'm grabbing something to go or I'm gonna be eating in my car or I'm out of town, yes, I'll be like, "I'll take the utensils." But for the companies that ask, they're like, "Do you
Mhm.
need utensils?" I say, "No. Why
Me
do I
too,
need another set when I'm
me
going
too.
home to use my own fork?"
Well, there are a lot of places here in California anyway that if you don't ask for it, they don't give it anymore.
Right. And I'm
Because
okay with that.
I am too, but even
Mhm.
if they ask me, I usually say no.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't sip my grape Fanta because I didn't my straw
Okay.
was dirty. I had left it at home because it was dirty, and
Oh,
I don't take straws from the restaurant.
yep.
Not I mean, really, it's pales in comparison to the world problems, but but I don't know, there's something about I feel good when I
Mhm.
pull out my reusable straw or my bamboo
Yes.
utensils because I feel like I'm helping my planet, and
Mhm.
Mother Earth is so good to me, why would I not do, what I can, even if it's tiny, to try and help?
That's right.
It makes me feel proud like I'm doing something good for my planet.
I agree.
And listen, we can all use little pick me ups during the day, even if it's just a
Mhm.
reusable straw pick me up. Still feels
Exactly.
good. Still feels good. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
My rave this week was sent in to us by a listener, our friend Beck, because she won a blanket in an online giveaway for this organization, which I will tell you about. Also, quick shout out to Beck. I know we mentioned last week, but she's a personal life coach and does a lot of things like that. If you want to follow her online, she posts a lot of really positive, lovely stuff. It's
Mhm.
nice. Anyway, so she sent us this is called remadeindia.com. That's where you can find them. Remade is the name of the organization. Transformation is our business, it says. Our products begin as traditional cotton saris worn by Indian women who sell them to vendors. This beautiful vintage fabric is then upcycled into remade products. Each remade blanket is truly unique, 2 coordinating saris are hand selected for the front and back sides. Middle layer sari pieces are added and then hand stitched together. No two are alike. I think that's amazing. Our products are handmade by local Indian women who sew the kantha stitch, a traditional hand stitch passed down through the generations in West Bengal, India, and Bangladesh. We are passionate about empowering Indian women through sustainable, respectable work, fair income and benefits, and education and training. Our goal is to not just have vintage saris remade into one of a kind products. We want these one of a kind women's thoughts, self worth, and lives to be remade as well. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Through our partnerships with local enterprises, Remade offers these women from underprivileged backgrounds employment and empowerment with your help. By ordering a product, you are playing a vital role in having these women's lives and futures be remade. We are a team of social entrepreneurs comprised of people from various backgrounds and areas of expertise who are all passionate about changing people's lives for the better. Located in Lebanon, India, Remade partners with businesses and enterprises in India to not only purchase products, but to build relationships and to offer employment and empowerment to underprivileged people. We also offer educational classes, language services, and other training. 100% of the proceeds from our sales and services go back into the running of Remade for the betterment of our employees' lives, families, and communities. Remade. Here's their motto, but that's not the word. What's the word? Mission statement. Transformation is our business. I love that.
I love it too. And their
So
blankets are gorgeous.
stunning, right? So you can go to their site. Again, that's remadeindia.com. You can go to the shop and see how it's made. And I mean, they're just beautiful. They're so beautiful, these blankets. I can't believe she won one.
They are beautiful. And I thought this was a nice sentiment. She, first of all, thought it was beautiful and was so happy to win one. But she and I were chatting, and she said that she bought a few as gifts, like as a thank you to them. But she loved them. So she was in need of some gifts and thought this would be a perfect way to support a business like this.
Well, I think it's amazing. And if you go to their website too, just take a second. If you go up to their menu, they have home, shop, and meet the artisans. Click on that, meet the artisans.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Look
It
at those women, read their stories. I mean, they're precious. They could not look happier.
Yes.
They look like they feel empowered.
Yes.
It's so I love it so much. Anyway, check them out if you can. I won't go on and on. Remadeindia.com. And thank you so much for sending that to us.
Yes. Thank you, Beck. And thank you, Dana.
Yes. I love it. Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think it is.
Oh, my word. It's not going to be 5 hours long, right? Okay, maybe 4 hours. All right, fine. Whatever. Anyway. I always like to end the show with a point to ponder for the week. Also, we talk about what we're into, but we've been recording a lot lately. I don't know that I have anything new that I'm into. What did I do? What have I done? I've been swimming a lot with a snorkel in a private friend's pool. I know that sounds weird because it's a tiny 3-foot pool. But when I did tell you this, right? When you put that snorkel on, you don't have to breathe. So I'm going to go do that tonight for my workout.
I mean, I love that. I'm back to rage walking, even with more rage now that things are picking up with Delta variant. We're having to go back to masks here in LA. So last night I'm like, oh, I feel a real rage walk picture coming on. So yeah.
Didn't we just announce last night or today? I don't know what day it is. That masks are required indoors again.
Yes, starting Saturday night at 11:59.
Okay, because I was going to say, Cold Stone Creamery didn't have that rule yet. Whatever, it doesn't affect me anyway. I wear my mask still. Blah, 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 blah. Don't care. So I don't guess we have anything new to shout out in the way of like shows or anything like that. Also, I just wanted to say real quick, you guys are always welcome to send us things like some of our listeners privately send me things that they know I would be interested in, but you can send that to Rants and Raves email, because if there's something cool that we want to check out that you think we should check out or whatever, we'll share it for sure. But I did bring a point to ponder today. Let me pull it up here. And it's so weird because I hadn't read the outline yet when I got this, when I picked this, and it's so apropos for today. Did you know, Jessica, that they now have a straw called the Hickaway? The plastic straw. Okay, plastic. We hate that. Let's look into bamboo, scientists. Okay, the plastic straw that can instantly cure hiccups.
What?
Okay, you look like you don't believe it. Let me read to you about it. It's described as a forced inspiration suction and swallow tool. Hickaway is essentially a special type of plastic straw scientifically designed to almost instantly cure your hiccups. According to a new study, the L-shaped tool works in 92% of cases, Jessica. You don't believe it.
Are you going to carry a Hickaway with you everywhere you go? Because last time I checked, no one knows when they're going to get struck with hiccups.
Okay, but okay. But it says in this article, you know what? There's no... You really burst in my bubble.
I know. I'm so sorry. I am such a naysayer. I know it. Please continue. Oh, God. That's the realist in me.
It's fine. No, it says, obviously, there are a lot of cures, in the world, which for hiccups, and most of them don't work, right? But this is scientific, it says, and it promises to end those annoying hiccups in over 90% of cases. It's called Hickaway. It looks like an L-shaped piece of plastic, but there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. I mean, you're right. I'm looking at it. No,
I feel terrible because I know how much I disappointed you, but I'm picturing if you get the hiccups now or a year from now, and you're going to be like, I wish I had one of those Hickaway straws, and you're not going to, and then you're going to be shit out of luck.
And I already, in normal times, carry a purse big enough to be called a suitcase. So I really can't. I can't add anything. You're right. All right, fine. Don't ponder it then.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've never interrupted a point to ponder. I just let her say whatever. And this time I'm like, no, ma'am.
You're not going to carry that. You're right. And you know what would happen? Here's what would happen. I would buy it. And then when I needed it, it wouldn't be with me. And I'd be pissed. I'd be so mad.
That's me. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe I was deflecting and putting my own disorganization onto you. And I apologize.
You're right. I guess I should have picked the one that was the most expensive burger and how much that costs. You could think about that, but that seems depressing to me. So I thought curing hiccups was a better avenue to go.
Oh my God.
Jessica, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
You laugh so hard.
Same, lady.
All right. We'll be back again next week.
Indeed.
How does it go? Don't be polite to men who creep you out. Don't be polite to men who creep you out. Nope, that's not the song. Song, is it?
It is.
It's not your job to comfort men. Where does that go?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought I remembered it, but I don't. Edit it out. Just leave it at here. I'll fix it. Jessica.
Yes.
I'm going to end this now because I keep rambling.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.